Development works utilizing surplus foreign exchange reserve to brighten country's image abroad, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina while inaugurating Bangladesh Infrastructure Development Fund.
বারবার শুধু অন্যের কাছে হাত পাতা বা কারো কাছে ধার না করে আমরা আমাদের নিজেদের অর্থ দিয়েই নিজেদের অবকাঠামো উন্নয়ন তাতে দেশেরও লাভ আবার আমরা আমাদেরও একটা আত্মবিশ্বাস জন্মাবে আত্মমর্যাদা বোধ আসবে আর আমরা যে পারি সেটা আমরা বিশ্বের কাছে দেখাতে পারবো
Chinese embassy presents Bangabandhu's mural to Prime Minister. Heads of state and government of 5 countries, including India, coming to Dhaka on the occasion of Bangabandhu's birth centenary and Golden Jubilee of Independence. Several MOUs to be signed. BNP's fondness for spirit of liberation war only a tool to gain own interest, comments Obaidul Qadir. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood says those who distorted history once being erased from history. Corona infection rate in the country rising again. 26 died and 1,773 new infections identified in the last 24 hours. And Saudi Arabia introduces new amendments to labor law. Foreign workers can change jobs without permission of their employers now. Assalamu alaikum. This is News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. I'm Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui with you. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has inaugurated Bangladesh Infrastructure Development Fund BIDF, aiming to finance different development projects from the country's own fund. The Prime Minister joined the program virtually from Gano Bhavan and inaugurated BIDF. The BIDF, that formed taking funds from the foreign exchange reserves, began its journey through financing the capital and maintenance dredging in Ramnabad channel of the Paira port. To this end, a tripartite agreement between the Finance Division, Paira Port Authority and Shonali Bank was signed today at the Finance Division. Speaking on the occasion, she said, as a developing nation, now Bangladesh has to move on with its own feet and run development works with its own financing towards becoming a developed country. Putting emphasis on capital dredging and maintenance and dredging of rivers including Ramnabad Channel, the Prime Minister said if the silts that accumulated on the riverbeds for hundreds of years can be removed, then their navigability will increase significantly, creating the scope for enhanced trade and commerce through riverways.
আমরা শুধু নিজে ব্যবহার করব না, ইতিমধ্যে ভারত, নেপাল, ভুটান তাদেরকেও আমরা কিন্তু সুযোগ দিয়েছি। এই রামনাবাদ চ্যানেল আমরা ড্রেজিং শুধু এটা ড্রেজিং করলে আমরা প্রতি বছর এটা মেইনটেনেন্স করতে হবে। এভাবে আমাদের দক্ষিণের নদীগুলি মানে শত শত বছরের যে সিল্ট মুখগুলি বন্ধ করে এসেছে সেটা যদি আমরা খুলে দিতে পারি, নদীর পথে আমাদের ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য আরো সুগম হবে। শুধু তাই না, এখান থেকে আমরা সেই ভারতের আসাম থেকে বা ভুটান থেকে নৌপথেই পণ্য পরিবহন করার সুযোগ হবে এবং তারা আমাদের পোর্টগুলিও ব্যবহার করতে পারবে। তার ফলে আমাদের অর্থনীতি আরো মজবুত হবে। আজকের বাংলাদেশ এখন সারা বিশ্বের কাছে উন্নয়নের রোল মডেল। অনেকে অনেক সময় জিজ্ঞেস করেন ম্যাজিকটা কি, আমি বলি ম্যাজিক কিছুই না, ম্যাজিকটা হচ্ছে দেশপ্রেম, দেশের প্রতি দায়িত্ববোধ, কর্তব্যবোধ, দেশের মানুষের প্রতি দায়িত্ববোধ, কর্তব্যবোধ। আমার চিন্তা আমার বাবার কাছ থেকে যেটা শিখেছি, দেশের মানুষকে দু পায়ে দাঁড় করিয়ে তাদের অর্থনৈতিকভাবে স্বাবলম্বী করে গড়ে তোলা, সেটাই হচ্ছে আমার একমাত্র লক্ষ্য।
Finance Minister H.M. Mustafa Kamal, State Minister for Shipping Khalid Mahmood Chaudhry and Bangladesh Bank Governor Fazle Kabir also spoke on the ceremony. Prime Minister's Principal Secretary Dr. Ahmed Kaikaus moderated the function, while Senior Secretary of the Finance Division Abdul Rauf Talukdar made a presentation on the country's microeconomy and BIDF. Swedish Minister for International Development Cooperation Per Olsson Frith has expressed his country's keen interest to invest in Bangladesh's energy sector, particularly in producing clean energy. The Swedish minister expressed his country's keenness when he called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Ganobhavan today. Press Secretary to the Prime Minister Isaul Karim said, during the call-on, Olsson Frith congratulated the Prime Minister for Bangladesh's remarkable development under her dynamic leadership and said Sweden will continue to support Bangladesh in its development efforts. While talking about corona pandemic, Olsson Frith lauded the Prime Minister the way her government successfully tackled the situation in Bangladesh and said Bangladesh Premier has a very brave vision. When the Swedish minister wanted to know about Bangladesh's development, the Prime Minister said the priority of her government is to develop infrastructure, economic sector, health care and education sector. About corona pandemic in the country, the Prime Minister said all, including officials for the administration, members of the armed forces, police, BGB, as well as leaders and activists of her party, were engaged to face the situation. Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister Dr. Ahmed Kaikaus and Swedish Ambassador to Bangladesh Alexandra Berg von Linde were present. Earlier, Chinese Ambassador to Bangladesh Li Jiming called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The Chinese ambassador offered to provide 1 lakh doses of corona vaccines to Bangladesh for immediate use in the country. On behalf of the Chinese embassy, Li Jiming handed over a mural of Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman to the Prime Minister. The Chinese envoy also conveyed message of good wishes from the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The Prime Minister appreciated the gesture of the Chinese embassy for giving the mural of the great leader Bangabandhu. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen has said that 5 heads of state and government is scheduled to visit Bangladesh to join Bangladesh's Independence Golden Jubilee and Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's birth centenary celebrations. The Foreign Minister said this while talking at a curtain-raiser media briefing in the capital today. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Mohammad Shahriar Alam and Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen also spoke at the briefing. The Foreign Minister said Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and 4 heads of state and government from Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan and the Maldives will be among the distinguished foreign guests to join the celebrations under separate schedules. Dr. A.K. Momen said that all 5 South Asian leaders would hold talks with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, which were expected to yield several bilateral memorandums of understanding. Dr. Momen said on the 26th March, the Indian Premier will address a program as guest of honor at the National Parade Ground, marking the Golden Jubilee of Independence. In the evening of the same day, the Indian Prime Minister, along with his Bangladesh counterpart, will visit Bangabandhu Bapu Digital Exhibition at Bangabandhu International Conference Centre. On the second day of the tour, Narendra Modi will pay homage at Bangabandhu's mausoleum in Tungipara of Gopalganj. On the evening of the same day, the Prime Ministers of the 2 countries will hold a closed-door meeting alongside a representative-level bilateral one, added Dr. Abdul Momen. Ambassador of Qatar to Bangladesh, Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Dehaimi, made a courtesy call on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry at her Parliament office today. During the call-on, they discussed various issues including coronavirus situation and vaccination of both the countries. The Speaker said Bangladesh got success in facing coronavirus pandemic and the government is providing vaccine to the mass people in phases. Qatar ambassador said it is a matter of pride for Bangladesh to get a great leader like Bangabandhu, who is one of the best visionary and experienced leader across the world. Awami League General Secretary Abdul Qadir has said showing the spirit of liberation war is the stare of BNP to gain their own interest. He made the remarks while briefing journalists through online from his official residence in the capital this morning, mentioning that country's economy was in deep crisis during the then BNP government's tenure because corruption of Hawa Bhavan and misdeeds of many BNP leaders. Obaidul Qadir said Awami League has lifted the country up to the status of developing country by removing BNP's stigma. He alleged that BNP's politics is full of all ingredients of ill politics. The Awami League General Secretary said BNP's anti-people and anti-state hidden face behind the mask is visible to the country and its people.
স্বাধীনতা বিরোধীদের মন্ত্রী বানিয়ে ক্ষমতা ভাগাভাগি করেছিল কারণ তখন কোথায় ছিল আজকের এই চেতনা, লোক দেখানো মুক্তিযুদ্ধের চেতনা বিএনপির কাছে স্বার্থ হাসিলের হাতিয়ার ছাড়া আর কিছুই নয়। বিএনপি মানবাধিকারের কথা বলে, শিশু রাসেল, অবলা নারী, অন্তঃসত্ত্বা গৃহবধূ, মেহেদিরাঙ্গা হাতে নববধূ কি অপরাধ করেছিল? 21শে আগস্ট জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনাকে হত্যা যে রাষ্ট্রীয় সন্ত্রাস তারা চালিয়েছিল তখন মানবাধিকার কোথায় ছিল? 2001 সালে ক্ষমতায় এসে 21,000 নেতাকর্মীকে হত্যা, সংখ্যালঘু নির্যাতনের সময় কোথায় ছিল তাদের মানবাধিকার? জীবন্ত মানুষকে পেট্রোল বোমা মেরে পুড়িয়ে দেয়া রাজনীতি যারা করে তাদের মুখে মানবাধিকারের কথা মানায় না। মুখোশের আড়ালে তাদের দেশ বিরোধী জনবিরোধী লুকানো মুখচ্ছবি দেশ ও জনগণের কাছে এখন স্পষ্ট। বিএনপি মহাসচিব দেশে মেগা প্রকল্পের মাঝে দুর্নীতি খুঁজে পায়। ফখরুল সাহেবকে মনে করিয়ে দিতে চাই মেগা প্রকল্প গ্রহণ এবং বাস্তবায়ন যে কোনো সরকারের সৎসাহস সক্ষমতার প্রয়োজন হয় যা শেখ হাসিনা সরকারের আছে।
Information Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said those who distorted history are being dumped by history. He said this as he spoke after opening the fair of a book named Muktir Dak, compiled by Yasin Kabir Joy at the National Press Club today. The Information Minister said Bangabandhu's 7th March speech earned global acclaim despite staying prohibited for a long 21 years.
বঙ্গবন্ধুর এই ভাষণ আজকে বিশ্ব স্বীকৃতি পেয়েছে। জাতিসংঘের প্রমাণ ও দলিল হিসাবে এটি জাতিসংঘ স্বীকৃতি দিয়েছে। অথচ এই ভাষণ, যে ভাষণ একটি নিরস্ত্র জাতিকে সশস্ত্র জাতিতে রূপান্তরিত করেছে। 7ই মার্চের আলোচনা সভা করল বিএনপি এবং সেখানে একজন বক্তা বঙ্গবন্ধুর এই ভাষণের সমালোচনা করল। তো এতে যেটি প্রতীয়মান হয় যে পাকিস্তানিদের বুঝের সাথে বিএনপিরও বুঝের খুব মিল। তারা 7ই মার্চ পালন করেছে। আশা করেছিলাম বঙ্গবন্ধুর জন্মশতবার্ষিকীর অনুষ্ঠানও তারা পালন করবে, 17ই মার্চও তারা পালন করবে, কিন্তু তারা 17ই মার্চ পালন করে না। তারা বরং 15ই আগস্ট যেদিন বঙ্গবন্ধুকে হত্যা করা হলো সেদিন ভুয়া জন্মদিন পালন করে। আমি আশা করেছিলাম এই বঙ্গবন্ধুর জন্মশতবার্ষিকীর বছরে স্বাধীনতার 50তম বর্ষে দাঁড়িয়ে তারা অতীতের ভুল স্বীকার করবে। এতদিন ধরে যে 15ই আগস্ট কেক কেটেছে, ভুয়া জন্মদিন পালন করেছে, সেজন্য জাতির কাছে ক্ষমা চাইবে। কিন্তু আজকে তারা সেই সুযোগটি নিতে ব্যর্থ হয়েছে। আর বিএনপির পক্ষ থেকে বলা হয় যে গণতন্ত্রের কথা বলা হয়। যাদের জন্মটাই অগণতান্ত্রিকভাবে ক্যান্টনমেন্টের মধ্যে, তারা আবার গণতন্ত্রের কথা বলে। তারা আজকে গণতন্ত্রের কথা যখন বলে তখন মানুষও হাসে, প্রকৃতির জীবজন্তুও হাসে।
Former Vice Chancellor of Dhaka University, Dr. A.M.S. Arifin Siddique, also spoke on the occasion, while National Press Club President Farida Yasmin, Shechha-Shebok League President Nirmal Ranjan Guho and General Secretary Afzalur Rahman were present. Later, the Information Minister joined the 11th founding anniversary of the daily Bangladesh Pratidin. Speaking on the occasion, the Information Minister said role of public media is vitally important in a state. Elites, including Bangladesh Pratidin editor Naim Nizam, author Imdadul Haq Milon and Dhaka North City Corporation Mayor Atikul Haq were present at the function. The Information Minister handed over accolades to noted persons for their contribution in different fields. In the afternoon, Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, as chief guest, inaugurated the International Short Film Competition at the Film Archive Auditorium in the capital's Agargaon. The competition has been organized in cooperation of Bangladesh's Ministry of Information, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and with the patronage of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum (ICYF), an affiliate of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC). Speaking at the inaugural function, the Information Minister said film is the reflection of life and it plays a critical role in nation building and exchanging global communication. Information Secretary Khaja Mia chaired the function, while State Minister for Information Dr. Murad Hassan, State Minister for Youth and Sports Zahid Hassan Russell, and Secretary to the Ministry of Youth and Sports Mohammad Akhtar Hussain spoke as special guests. ICYF President Taha Ayyan was connected to the function virtually. Former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon took part in the fourth round of Bangabandhu Lecture Series today. Foreign Ministry organized the lecture marking the birth centenary of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and Golden Jubilee of country's independence. Ban Ki-moon attended the program virtually and presented the keynote paper. The title of the lecture was Bangabandhu, the Soul of Bangladesh, held at the Foreign Service Academy in the capital. Chief guest of the program, Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen, said Bangabandhu was firmly determined to save the people of the then East Bengal. Ban Ki-moon said Bangladesh achieved remarkable success in poverty alleviation under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Muhammad Shahriar Alam, Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen, Korean Ambassador to Bangladesh Lee Jang-kwin, and Bangladesh Ambassador to Korea Abida Islam, among others, were present on the occasion. Now international news. Foreign workers in Saudi Arabia are now able to switch jobs without their employer's permission after the long-awaited labor reforms in the Gulf region's most populous country went into effect. Rights groups have said the system makes workers, particularly those working in construction and doing domestic work, vulnerable to abuse by their employers. Under the kingdom's revised system, migrant workers can switch jobs upon the expiry of their work contract. Workers will also be able to transfer jobs during the validity of their contract, provided they notify their employers within a set time frame. COVID-19 global death toll crosses 26,66,000 as more than 5,607 people died yesterday globally. More than 12 crore 5 lakh people have been infected globally, and more than 9 crore 70 lakh 50,000 people have recovered so far. The United States, the current epicenter of the pandemic, has now 3 crore 81,000 confirmed cases and 5 lakh 47,000 deaths. 26 COVID-19 patients died in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll from the pandemic to 8,571. The recovery count rose to 5,13,127 after another 1,432 recovered during the period. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services confirmed this today. The tally of infections rose to 5,59,168 with 1,773 new cases. Mobile courts will be conducted again to ensure that everybody is maintaining the health guidelines. If anybody ignores to do so and found not wearing mask, will be fined with cash. Health Minister Zahid Malik informed this while talking to newsmen after attending a meeting on the occasion of Bangabandhu's birth centenary and Golden Jubilee observance at the Secretariat in Dhaka today. The Health Minister said the program of No Mask, No Service will be implemented more strictly. Besides, public gathering in different social-cultural functions will also be controlled accordingly. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Development works utilizing surplus foreign exchange reserve to brighten country's image abroad, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina while inaugurating Bangladesh Infrastructure Development Fund. Chinese Embassy presents Bangabandhu's mural to Prime Minister. Heads of state and government of 5 countries including India coming to Dhaka on the occasion of Bangabandhu's birth centenary and Golden Jubilee of Independence. Several MOUs to be signed. BNP's fondness for a spirit of liberation war only a tool to gain own interest, comments Obaidul Qadir. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood says those who distorted history once being erased from history. Corona infection rate in the country rising again. 26 died and 1,773 new infections identified in the last 24 hours. And Saudi Arabia introduces new amendments to labor law. Foreign workers can change jobs without permission of their employers now. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our next bulletin is coming up at 11:30 in Bangla. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.